finishes off in style. A magnificent strike into the crowd. India lift the World Cup.
12 seconds. That's all it took for MS Dhoni to hit the most iconic six in the history of Indian cricket. But here's probably what you don't know. That single shot made Reebok millions of rupees through brand visibility. And yet the bat that hit it wasn't even manufactured by Reebok. It was made in a manufacturing unit in Meerut with the Reebok sticker just plastered on it. Fast forward to today and that small vinyl has become a multi-crore industry. Top players earn crores of rupees through that just one sticker. Brands like CEAT and MRF spend crores every decade just to get eyeballs on television through these bat stickers. And if a company tried to buy eyeballs through television ads, it would cost them 10 times more. What started as a simple sponsorship is now a $1 billion advertising ecosystem hiding in plain sight on the cricket field. So in today's video, we are decoding the business behind that sticker, how it started, who's making money, and how that small piece of vinyl became the most sought after real estate in Indian sports.
Now let's take a deeper dive into these bat manufacturers. Indian companies like BDM, SS, SG, and some very well-known British companies like Gun & More. These are bat manufacturers, equipment manufacturers, which is a term familiar to a lot more cricketers, who make your cricket bat and your soft leather, which refers to your cricket gloves and your cricket pads. This is the most important category for any young cricketer coming up through the professional ranks. When they hit the IPL and the big leagues, this is the first sponsor that they sign. Now this is where it gets very interesting. Cricket is a unique sport. The good comparison here is with tennis. Tennis racket manufacturers like Wilson and Prince continue to sponsor a great tennis player till he's playing in the Grand Slams. Roger Federer with Wilson is a prime example. However, a young cricketer coming through the ranks would play with a manufacturer, and when they reach the big leagues, you suddenly see the sticker change to business and corporates like MRF, CEAT, and Hero MotoCorp. So this is what makes the sport of cricket so unique. The maker and the sticker are different. Tennis, you play with Wilson, you play with Prince, but you continue to play with that while you're in the Grand Slams. But in cricket, a young cricketer will get his equipment from an Indian manufacturer like SG and SS, and then when the Virat Kohlis and the Rohit Sharmas are doing well in the big leagues, you suddenly see a sticker from CEAT and MRF. Now the best way to explain it to someone is imagine the legendary Roger Federer taking off his Wilson logo from his racket and replacing it with a brand like Toyota. That's effectively what happens with a cricket bat. It's made by SG or SS, and the manufacturer's logo gets replaced with a tire brand like CEAT or MRF. So how did we get here? How did this tiny sticker on a cricket bat become a prominent advertising real estate space? Let's take a deep dive right from the very beginning.
Until the early 90s, manufacturing was restricted to bat manufacturers like Gun & Moore, SS, Duncan Furley, and these were popular brand names that every cricketer wanted to use. In Sanjay Manjrekar's book, he's actually mentioned how difficult it was for Indian batters to get a Duncan Furley bat, and it was a coveted thing for them at that time. Sunil Gavaskar was then India's biggest batter, and he was the first one to popularize an Indian brand named SG, Sansparil Greenlands. It was a coincidence that his initials also match SG's. Power was the earliest brand to give bat stickers to Indian superstars like Kapil Dev, Dilip Vengsarkar, and a young Sachin Tendulkar. Puma had tried to get into the bat space early in the 1990s with Azharuddin, then India's captain, playing with a Puma bat. The year 1995 saw a lot of movement in this space. India was obsessed with one man.
This crowd have come alive.
There it is. Listen to the applause. Sachin Tendulkar, 99 international 100.
What What was also interesting was that the World Cup of 1996, Sachin played with an empty bat sticker and also emerged as its top scorer in the World Cup. Post the 96 World Cup, he signed with MRF. After that, every straight drive, every replay, every run that Sachin scored was through this MRF, and it got amazing visibility. For MRF, it wasn't about selling bats or selling tires anymore. It was about visibility on the biggest advertising platform in world cricket. And just like that, the bat became prime advertising real estate. A billboard that swings 100 times a match, seen by millions. And of course, once the money started flowing, the big brands couldn't resist. Because when there's fame, there's marketing. And soon, every brand wanted to own a piece of the pitch.
Now, post the success of Sachin Tendulkar, a consumer brand Britannia entered the fray, and they sponsored Rahul Dravid's bat. This was very significant because Britannia was a business-to-consumer brand, and biscuits, combined with the most lovable face in Indian sport at the time with Rahul Dravid, was a winning partnership. And a lot of Rahul Dravid's very special knocks in the late 90s had a Britannia sticker on his bat, which a lot of cricket fans remember. The sports brands, Nike, Puma, Adidas entered the segment as well. A lot of these sports brands were known for cricket shoes, training gear, your training equipment that cricketers would always wear, but they soon decided to take advantage of this advertising opportunity as well. The young Virat Kohli played with a Nike sticker on his cricket bat. That was recognizable when he first burst onto the scene. Yuvraj Singh, man of the tournament in the 2011 World Cup, played some of the most famous knocks in Indian cricket with his Reebok logo on the cricket bat. And of course, MS Dhoni, with his iconic 6, had a Reebok logo as well. And the legendary Sachin Tendulkar, when he completed his partnership with MRF, finished his cricketing career with an Adidas logo on his bat. And in his famous 200th Test match, everyone remembers his Adidas logo on the last time he was on a cricket field for India. The advantage that these sports brands had is that they would offer a cricketer an entire sponsorship package of sponsoring their cricket bat, their soft leather, which was their pads and gloves, along with their cricket shoes. And that was a category that a lot of cricketers had looked at for a few years as well. And then a new category emerged. These multi-billion-dollar tire companies decided to enter bat sponsorships, and CEAT and MRF started to offer big multi-cross sponsorship contracts to cricketers.
MRF's strategy was simple. Find the best player in the world and stick your logo on his bat. They started with Sachin Tendulkar, took on legends like Steve Waugh, Brian Lara, then moved on to the next generation of players like Gautam Gambhir, AB de Villiers, Shikhar Dhawan, and then of course eventually Virat Kohli and now Shubman Gill. Even today, the red MRF sticker feels like a symbol of excellence. Meanwhile, another tire brand, CEAT, entered the fray. Their approach was different. Instead of signing one legend, they signed multiple players. And they signed players like Rohit Sharma, Ajinkya Rahane, Shreyas Iyer, and even Harmanpreet Kaur. Where MRF chased icons, CEAT built a portfolio. And together, these two tire companies made Bat Sticker a multi-crore advertising empire. If you do not have a large contract with a brand like an MRF, CEAT or a Hero, and you're using a bat manufacturer like an SS or an SG, there's also an opportunity to commercially utilize the back of your bat logo. It's a small logo that is there on the back of the bat, which then brands can actually put their logo in and use the cricketer's bat as an advertising material. Somebody like a KL Rahul or a Ben Stokes has been using a Red Bull logo on the back of their bat for the longest time, showing that the association has been more than just visibility on the back of their bat. But with so much money flowing in, the International Cricket Council couldn't just stand watching. They had to step in and write a rule book for this kind of branding.
So the International Cricket Council came in to set the house in order, to put in a few rules and regulations. Twofold. One, to protect the manufacturers who were losing out on a branding opportunity. As I said earlier, a young cricketer coming up through the domestic ranks, playing with SG and SS, and then suddenly the logo disappears and gets replaced with a tire brand. That was one reason the ICC wanted to step in. And number two, to have some rules and regulations as to how big your sticker could be, what about its positioning. The sponsor could not conflict with any central sponsors of a particular ICC tournament. And most importantly, a CEAT or an MRF had to manufacture a certain line of cricket bats for sale in the market. Now what that would entail is MRF and CEAT would put out a few bats for commercial sale. So whenever you would visit a sports shop, you would see SG, SS and some MRF and CEAT bats. That was a crucial rule that the ICC bought in. Prove that you're a manufacturer. However, it was a loophole that these large corporates were able to exploit because effectively their core business was not selling cricket bats, it was selling tires.
So why do brands pay so much? Well, it's great visibility. Cricket being a front-on sport, the front of the bat whenever the batter features is highly visible. And every time the batter is visible via highlights, whether it's photographs, whether it's social media reels, the bat sticker is always visible. And most importantly, it's always visible in key winning shots, like we explained about Dhoni hitting that powerful six. If a company tried to buy that kind of exposure through TV ads, then it would have to pay 10x times more than what it does currently. That's why brands like MRF and CEAT keep investing crores into this industry for years. It's not about selling tires, it's about selling trust. But if there's one thing that this story teaches us, attention is everything. And the smartest brand figure this out earlier than everybody else.
So Akhil, if we have to look at two of the most iconic moments in Indian cricket of late, we had MS Dhoni's match-winning six in the 2011 World Cup and of course Virat Kohli's six in the 2022 T20 World Cup. Now these iconic shots have had a Reebok logo and an MRF logo, but these factories, the SG, the SS, the Vampire Bass that make these wonderful cricket bats don't end up getting the visibility. And are the manufacturers happy with the current ICC protection they have?
Well, I'm sure the manufacturers would love to have their logo on these iconic moments, and some of the moments these brands have iconic moments, they have had their visibility. Like I remember VVS Lakshman scoring that 281, he played with an SS bat sticker. So they would like to have the visibility, but well, we have to accept the commercial reality.
It's a commercial reality, isn't it? I mean, you can't match the advertising spending power of CEAT or MRF or even Hero MotoCorp now that has signed the young Abhishek Sharma. So effectively, is that just the nature of the beast that if you're a young boy or a young girl, you will play with your manufacturer logo, but when you start getting the big hundreds in international cricket, the commercial corporate is going to come knocking and it's most likely going to be a tire brand.
It is a tire brand, they've dominated this sector for a while, but again if you see some of the bigger players currently playing T20 cricket for India, somebody like a Hardik Pandya, a KL Rahul who's been playing for such a long period of time, they are still using logos with a bat manufacturer, SG and SS. So in a way, if you have a relationship with a brand and if you're still a big player and decide to stick with them, we still have case studies like that.
And are there more corporates likely to enter this space, try and apply for an ICC logo, or is it something that just MRF and CEAT are going to dominate for the foreseeable future?
It looks like they are going to dominate because it doesn't look like the ICC is giving any more licenses for brands to come and take this space. So for now, it's only CEAT, MRF and Hero who currently are having these licenses to have visibility. But one important point, Dhruv, and it's not seen too much in the market scenario, is that how brands like Adidas or Nike or Puma have struggled to crack this bat business. So all these three brands have tried to be a dominant player while selling brands.
As well.
Reebok for so many years.
Yeah.
They've tried to be a dominant players to sell bats in India, but to match the might of SG and SS has been tough. The distribution that SS and SG have, the quality of bats that they actually sell are just incredible, and the actual cricket lovers know the difference.
Yeah, and the legendary players like say a Rohit or Virat know the particular SS bat they want and know the particular willow they want. I guess the commercial logo in front just happens to be the advertising platform.
That's the extra premium that you get for reaching that level of play, I guess.
So that concludes our very exciting discussion on the business of Indian sport today. Let us know what you think. Was this an area that excited you? Did you know that there are these very special cricket manufacturers and bat manufacturers, and ultimately the tyre brands are there later on just for the advertising visibility? Let us know your thoughts, and we'd love to hear from you on the same.
Please do like, share and subscribe to our channel. We'd love to hear from you and we'll get back with more episodes.